Hi, hello, good evening. So today we are going to learn about a plant tissues, that is the second part of the plant tissues. So which is called as which comes under a group that is permanent tissues. The permanent tissues are of two types. One is simple tissues, other it is a complex tissues. Simple tissues means here I am going to draw some cells. You just tell the what is the difference between these cells in first group. This is the first set of cells. And second, I am going to draw a one kind of cells in this box. You tell what is the difference you are finding here. Here also I am drawn some cells. So what is the difference of this all the cells in the box A and the box B? You'll be telling that the cell sizes are different. Okay, it means what I mean to say that whichever the cells are having a similar structure and together will forms as a common functions performs a common functions is called a simple permanent tissues, and whichever the tissue that having a different structures but commonly it will do one common functions altogether will be going to perform a one common function, that is called as permanent tissues. That simple tissues only further divided on the screen you can see first one is the parenchyma, second one is collenchyma, third one is sclerenchyma. So parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So what is this the properties of this parenchyma, where they are present and what is the functions? If we learn today's topic going to be finished. Once again I am going to repeat that simple permanent tissues means which are having a same kind of cells but all together will performs as a common function which is called as a simple permanent tissues in the plants. So first, you can clearly, I was zooming the image. You just try to identify. Okay, first we will go with our parenchyma, right? Word parenchyma, whatever the parenchyma, that means in the Greek language, the parent means besiding tissue. Parenchyma means besiding tissue. Besiding means what to beside it is anything, any kind of tissue. It is maybe any other kind. It is a permanent tissues or any tissues that besiding one tissue will be there everywhere. It means we want to say that it is between a bit besiding every tissue. That is a parenchyma tissue. This parenchyma tissue is a one, and whereas collenchyma, this is a tissue, collenchyma, which is a glue-like tissue, which is a gives a flexibility to the plant, which is a glue-like flexibility it is going to give. And one more, it is a sclerenchyma. Last one is a, it is made up hard kind of cells, so it is called a sclerenchyma. These are the Greek meanings of this all the tissues. And first we will be calling a one here. So three names are there. First, parenchyma, whatever the parenchyma is also called as a bulk tissue. Why we are calling it as a bulk tissue means it is present when you compare all the tissues separately. If you separate all the tissues into the grouped manner. Okay. So same way, this is a one that the quantity of this tissue will be more when compared to other tissues. This is why we are calling it as a parenchyma, is a bulk tissue. Whereas collenchyma, it is called as a what living mechanical tissue. It is a living mechanical tissue. It means which gives the support to the plant. Next one, sclerenchyma is a dead mechanical tissue. This is what. Okay, done. Next one, we are having occurrence, where they are present. It means locations they are present in the plant. Parenchyma generally it is present in growing areas wherever the young roots or shoot leaf, that are the places of parenchyma. Whereas collenchyma generally you can take as an example nodes. Nodes means what is that? This is in a one place. This is this part whatever the horizontal line I am drawing here. This you can consider is a on sugarcane you can find this clearly. So these are the parts are called as nodes. Nodal region or in between this internodal regions also you can find. Or wherever you can see the sclerenchyma, third type of tissue that you can see in the hard parts, that is coconut coir, whatever you will be making in the ropes, that coir it is you can be see that is made up of sclerenchymatous, or any seed coat Like if you take a outer coat of a groundnut, that is also you can take. Or when you are eating a like a guava, that it is a like outer seed coat part or rice husk. You know, are all familiar with these examples. So these hard parts of the plant you can take as an example of sclerenchyma tissue. Next, nature. How this tissue, no, it is made up of cells. What kind of cells it is made up of? Generally, the parenchyma is always it is made up of living cells, whereas collenchyma is also a living cells, but sclerenchyma is a dead cell. Okay, one we find a difference. Next one, parenchyma. Here, what is mean by unspecialized, or it means it is some in some of the parenchyma still it is having a meristematic nature. Okay, that is means specialized, unspecialized. Whereas specialized means which lost the ability, so that is why they are called as specialized. It means it got a proper function, it got a proper shape. So that is specialized. It will be having a shapes and specialized even in our sclerenchyma also. This is the third point we learned here. Shapes. This tissue contains the cells, no? Generally, what are the shapes you can find? One is oval shaped cells, or round shaped cells, or cylindrical shape. Whereas in the sclerenchyma, that is circular shape or angular shape. Whereas the sclerenchyma, it is a elongated. Elongated means this linear in a elongated manner will be there. Cell like this. Linear, elongated man, like a point, like needle, like cells will be there. That is a one example you can take. Cell wall. Every cell, plant cell is having a plant cell will have a cell wall. Generally, all we know that plant cell wall is composed of a one chemical substance. What is the cellulose? Cellulose is a substance. And how the thickness of that cell wall? It is very thin in nature. Okay. Whereas in the sclerenchyma, here that is we are having it is a thin. Some cases it is at corners it is thickened by a special deposition. Additional chemical material is a pectin. It is very important point. The pectin is an additional material because of it gets corners get thickened. Next one we are having the thick that is sclerenchyma. It is again more thick than when compared to the other two tissues. The cell wall will be thick because of deposition of lignin. Next one is the whatever the tissues is made up of cells, no? Inside that cytoplasm, condition of cytoplasm, how you can see they are dense cytoplasm, less cytoplasm. There is no cytoplasm in the third part. Next, nucleus position. Whereas in the parenchyma, if I am taking a cell like this, the nucleus will be present at the center. Whereas there, here if I am taking a cell, here the nucleus is present at the periphery. There is a no nucleus in this cell. No nucleus in this cell. So that is a condition you can take. Next one, vacuole. If I take a cell like this, the vacuole position will be smaller. Here, the central here, the vacuole gradually going to be increased. Vacuole size will be more. Whereas still in the sclerenchyma will more vacuole, it is get deposited with other chemicals. Now, one more point. Now we are seeing a here, this is a cell, here this is a cell, here this is. Now there is a some little bit space I left between the cells. That space is called as intercellular space. This intercellular space is if there is a no intercellular space in the parenchyma means all the cells are closely packed. Whereas having a little intercellular space in the whereas sclerenchyma or collenchyma, there is no intercellular space in the what third tissue that is clerenchyma. Okay. Now we will try to finish the some functions. The what are the functions we are having? The functions are the what you can remember by simple cat cap. A cat is wearing a cap. You can write, you can remember. Here why I named it as a C means this parenchyma helps in the checks the transpiration. Checks means here stops the transpiration, which is the transpiration. Next one, assimilation, utilization of food or supplying of food. That you can write. Transportation of food, one place to another place. Who is going to transport the food? Parenchyma. Next one, we are having the cell that is C for here, where is a one specialized parenchyma is there that is called as which undergoes photosynthesis. We are going to call it as the chloroplast or contains a chloroplast which is called as chlorenchyma. And some of the are familiar with the one plant that is lotus. Have you seen that lotus leaf is floating on the surface of the water? right? How it is getting a ability to float that? So it should have a glass vacuoles in that? No. The whereas one specialized tissue will be there, that tissue is called as aerenchyma, which stores the air in the tissues. So that is called as aerenchyma tissue. Whereas it also helps in the packing of the some of the organs in the plant. So that is why it is called as packing tissue. This you can write as a functions of parenchyma. Next, one more. What is the two important functions you can tell about the collenchyma is the collenchyma, you know already. It is a living mechanical tissue which gives a support to the plant, and also it in addition to it helps in the bending of the plant. It prevents the tearing of the leaf when a hard wind comes, or it makes the flexibility to the plant or elasticity to the plant. These are the functions you can remember. Okay, next one last, our sclerenchyma is also called as a dead mechanical tissue, which gives the strength to the plant or which makes the hard parts of the plant. So this is all about the functions. So once again, we will be going to revise this topic and we will end that today's topic. So now we are having a what is that simple permanent issues? Why they where the simple permanent issues comes under? If I am taking a plant tissues, that plant tissues are divided into two types. One is meristematic tissues, other it is the permanent tissues. That permanent tissues are only divided into simple, other it is the complex. So today we are learning about the simple. That simple are further divided into colon that is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So that only we are learning today. So parenchyma means what is the tissue, which is also called as a bulk tissue, whereas collenchyma is also called as a living mechanical tissue. Sclerenchyma is also called as a dead mechanical tissue. This we are having. Next one, nature. All the cells are living in the parenchyma, collenchyma, but in the sclerenchyma, it is a dead in nature. And very important point, cell wall. Thickness of the cell wall is thin in the parenchyma, whereas little bit corners get thickened in the whereas collenchyma. Sclerenchyma it is completely thick. Why it is completely thick? It is deposited with the lignin. Why corners only thick in the collenchyma? It is deposited with the pectin. Next, whereas in the collenchyma, parenchyma, nothing, and only the cellulose will be there. So it is very thin. Next, coming to the functions. What is the functions you can write? The one important is the transportation of food, and it acts as a chlorenchyma. Some cases it be converted into the parenchyma, so which helps in the what buoyancy of the plant. Next, whereas sclerenchyma, collenchyma, it helps in the mechanical support to the plant, whereas the dead mechanical support is giving is the what sclerenchyma. These are the some of the functions. So today we learned about the simple permanent tissues. Next class we will be learning about the complex permanent tissues. Thank you, Nana. We will be meeting in the next class.